I'm Hyundai the Dietitian, and welcome to Healthy Made Simple, where I show you how to make healthy eating simple. In this video, I will be sharing a healthy idea for after dinner snacking. Now, most of us know that we probably shouldn't be snacking too much after dinner, especially if we've had a nice filling dinner and our bedtime isn't super late at night. You definitely want to give yourself at least 2 hours before bedtime from when you last eat to when you go to sleep so that your body has enough time to digest everything you've already eaten. That also helps if you're trying to lose weight, as late night snacking can lead to weight retention, hindering your efforts to lose weight. But at the same time, I also know we're all human, including myself, and some of us do like to snack late at night, especially if we're sitting in front of the TV. If you've had a long, hard day, sometimes you just want to get in front of the TV, grab a snack and munch and just kind of relax. So if that's you, whether you do this on a regular basis or maybe every once in a while, and when you do snack at night, you want to make some healthier choices, I've got a great snack idea for you. Now, if you guessed popcorn, you are absolutely correct with what this idea is going to be. Here I have 3 cups of popped popcorn, and I popped this at home myself and seasoned it myself. Now, in this 3 cups of popcorn, you're only going to get 100 calories, 4 grams of fiber, and 3 grams of protein. Now, that's not a bad deal considering the large volume of this bowl. Even if you were to double this in size, let's say you ended up having 2 bowls of popcorn, that's still only 200 calories. It's 8 grams of fiber, which is amazing, and 6 grams of protein. And that fiber and the protein in there is really going to help, number 1, keep your blood sugars in control, and number 2, keep you satiated so that you actually feel full after eating it. And the nice part about popcorn is that because it's so nice and airy, it's easier to feel like you're eating a lot at a time. This big bowl feels like a nice big snack to me, even though it doesn't have a lot of calories, just because of the volume of each piece. So if you're like that, if you're kind of looking for something that's not this tiny little snack, but you want to actually sit down and munch away, something like popcorn is a great option. Now, there are different ways that you can get popcorn. If you're my age or older or maybe even younger, you likely grew up with microwave popcorn. We used to have that a lot when I was younger. And recent studies have shown that there are actually detrimental effects of using microwave popcorn due to the chemicals that are used in that packaging. They're known to be carcinogenic and increase your risk for cancer. So we do want to stay away from microwave popcorn, those microwavable bags, as much as possible. So try to avoid that if you can. You can certainly buy popcorn pre-popped in big bags like Skinny Pop. There are plenty of other brands out there that has been pretty common. But the problem with those could be that they could be a little bit pricey for popcorn. And it's actually really cheap to buy your own corn kernels and just pop it at home yourself. I don't know why, but I've always overthought how difficult popping popcorn was going to be. I thought it was a lot of effort at home, and it's really not. So I'm going to show you that in this video today, how easily you can make a bowl like this at home so that you have snacking options for the week. Even if you pop a half cup of unpopped kernels, it makes a huge batch of popcorn. And I've had it last for a week, basically. By the end of the week, it's starting to get a little bit stale, but a week is a good amount of time for how little effort this really takes to put together. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to pop some popcorn and show you how truly easy this is to make at home. And then I'll show you how I like to season mine as well and discuss a couple different seasoning options for you so that you can switch it up every day if you want to and do a different seasoning. And then when you're doing this at home, you're thankfully missing out on all the extra butter and salt and other additives that can be added into pre-popped popcorn and have an even healthier snack option at home. So let's go pop some popcorn together and I'll show you truly how simple this is. Alrighty, let's go. Alrighty, let's make some popcorn. Now I started with the biggest pot that I have, and I added in 2 tablespoons of olive oil to it. And my olive oil is this one. This is actually filled with the Kirkland olive oil. I'm just using the container from Trader Joe's, but it's just good old extra virgin regular olive oil that you're using. And the nice part about being able to use olive oil for this instead of butter that would typically go in it is that you get those unsaturated fats from oil, which are much better for us compared to the saturated fats we get from butter. Now for my popcorn, I'm going to be using this popcorn right here. This is the one from Trader Joe's, organic popping corn. These are just good old regular corn kernels. This was only a few dollars at Trader Joe's. You can buy any brand that works for you that you can find, even if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you. You can certainly use a different brand for this. You don't have to use this one. But in order to make sure I can keep an eye on my oil and see if it's ready for me to add in all of my kernels, I'm going to drop in a few of those. I'm going to drop in 3, and then I will put the lid on my pot. And as soon as those 3 pop in there, then I know my oil is hot enough for me to add in the rest. Now, in terms of measurements, I'm going to be using half a cup of this. Half a cup is going to make a nice big batch so that I can use it for at least a couple days. It's going to make a big bowl of popcorn. So let's wait for our oil to be ready. And as soon as it's ready, we'll add in a half cup of popping corn. Alrighty, the couple pieces that I have in there have already popped. So I've got my half cup of popping corn that I have ready. So I'm just going to open up the lid and toss those in real quick and close it back up. And then with this, you want to give it a little bit of a shake. My handle is getting quite warm, so I'm going to use my towels for this purpose. So I'm going to use my towels. If your handles get hot like mine, use a towel. And then you're just going to want to give it a little shake until all of these kernels have popped. And once it starts popping, you'll notice that it's going to start filling the pot. So it can be kind of hard to tell what's still left over at the bottom. So just keep an eye on it and listen for it. When you notice that it's not popping as much anymore, that means you're probably close to done and you can turn off the heat. And I keep mine on high heat. I'm pretty impatient and I like getting things done quickly, but medium to high heat would work well for you. You can even blast it high like I am and it'll still be okay. Just keep a close eye on it so you don't burn your popcorn. All right, it's really going right now. You can probably hear all the poppings. I wanted to show you what it's looking like. Look at that. It's all popping in there, and I'm just going to give it a little shake around just to make sure we're getting all of the kernels in there. All right, now you can see that it's actually pretty full to the top. Look at that. There's so much popcorn in there already. And I can tell that it's starting to slow down quite a bit. I'm not hearing it as much. That's kind of another beauty of using a pot that is that you know how much it's going to make in there. I think this is starting to sound pretty good. I don't hear popping anymore, so I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm just going to give that a minute to cool off before I add in the seasonings, but I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Look at that. Some beautiful popcorn that we popped all ourselves, and it only took a few minutes. See, it's really not that bad making this at home. We all have like 5 minutes to put together some popcorn to have a nice healthy snack for nighttime or afternoons or on weekends when you're on the go. If you got a busy weekend and you got to get somewhere and you want to bring some snacks along with you, put those in a Ziploc and it'll be a perfect snack for a car ride too. Alrighty, I'm going to give this a chance to cool off just a little bit, and then once it's cool, then we'll add in the seasonings. Alrighty, my popcorn has cooled off, and then I put it into 2 airtight containers. And as you can see, my containers filled up quite a bit. I wish I had another one that was about this size so that it wasn't so piled high on top. And since I got some extra on top, I'm unfortunately going to have to eat those guys. Oh, shucks. No, I'm actually really excited to try this. But before I do, let's season these guys up. Now, my go-to seasoning for this has been onion salt. I just love the flavor of those onion flakes in there. Plus you get some salt, and I think for popcorn you do need a little bit of salt. You don't need to go overboard, but some salt really does help flavor it better. So onion salt has been a great option for us. We've done a little test run where we tried different seasonings we have at home to see what we prefer, and this was by far the favorite for all three of us. So this is what I've been doing mainly, but you can certainly try other seasonings as well, especially if you don't have onion salt. You can just do regular salt. You can add some garlic powder if you like a little garlicky taste. You can even do ranch seasoning. That's kind of been on my to-do list to try out. You can get ranch seasoning packets, and of course, maybe not using the whole packet, but just a little bit to add a little drizzle on top. And I think ranch flavoring could be good. And I've also seen some popcorn seasoning kits before. So you can try to get a kit like that to see if that works for you. But I do suggest just using whatever seasonings you have at home to make this nice and simple for yourself. Unless you go down the rabbit hole of making popcorn all the time and want to get fancy with your seasonings, then you do you. All right, let's season these guys up. Okay, so I am gonna do a drizzle of the onion salt. And so since we don't have butter added to these guys, the seasoning doesn't really stick to them as much, I have noticed. So you'll find a big pile of seasoning at the bottom once you're done with it. And that's fine for me too. I'm okay with it flavoring a little bit, but not going overboard on the seasoning. I'm fine with that. But if you want it to stick, you might want to add a little bit of butter if you wanted to do that. But I really do try to stay away from the saturated fats that come from butter. I do use butter in my cooking here and there, but for something like this, especially if I'm eating it late at night, I really don't need the butter, and a little bit of less seasoning is totally fine with me. And with this, since these containers are so big and it's hard to navigate around it, what I'll usually do is I'll season the top layer, we'll eat through that, then I'll season the next layer, and then we'll eat through that, and so on and so forth. But I do recommend a nice airtight container for wherever you're storing these. If you have one of those big bowls that have a lid on it, that would work even better, so you can keep it all in one spot instead of having to have different containers for this. But keeping it in an airtight container will really help it from preventing staleness too quickly. I notice that when I keep it in these, it will stay relatively fresh for about a week. So do keep that in mind. And I hope this video helped give you a good idea for a healthy snack you can easily make at home. Making popcorn is actually so easy, and you can do it at home as long as you buy some of the kernels. I'm sure you have some sort of an olive oil at home. I'm sure you have seasonings, even if it's just salt. So you can absolutely attempt to make this at home, and it's just such a more affordable option compared to buying pre-popped popcorn. You know, one of those big bags can go anywhere from $5, $6 where I live, whereas I got that bag of kernels for about $2 or $3, I believe. And it has lasted us weeks and weeks now, and I'm sure it'll continue to last us. There's still so much left in there. So it's so much more affordable to make, and it's so simple too to make a nice fresh snack for yourself for late night snacking or daytime snacking or anytime snacking where you want a nice healthy option. Thank you so much for watching Healthy Made Simple. If you have not already done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos from my channel that help show how to make healthy eating simple and easy at home. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.